Now I want to talk to you about calories. So for you, this is where math comes in. I want you to take your current body weight. If body fat loss is your goal, you're going to take your current body weight and you're going to multiply it by 10 to 12 calories per pound of current body weight. Let's say that you weigh 200 pounds today. If I multiply that by 10, that gives me 2,000 calories a day. Okay, so that's about what you should be eating for fat loss. I know that sounds like a lot to a lot of women, and I think a lot of the problems women have are because we have somewhere along the lines, we have wrapped our minds around 1,200 calories is like the magic number. Not if you weigh 200 pounds. If you weigh 200 pounds, your body needs a lot more to fuel itself. And it actually, in most cases, needs more than 2,000 calories to fuel itself. But by giving ourselves that 2,000 calorie benchmark, we are reducing calories a little bit, not a huge chunk, but just enough that our body wants to use fat as a fuel source because it doesn't have a lot of extra calories. So it's going to use stored fat as fuel. Okay. So I'm going to give you a little range there. When you're having a relatively inactive day, use 10 as your calorie figure, okay? When you're having a really active day, you're walking, you hit the gym, you feel like you've just been moving all day, you can go ahead and use 12 calories per pound of body weight as your figure, okay? So that would make your range, if you're 200 calories, that would make your range between 2,000 calories and 2,400 calories a day, depending on your activity level. Because remember what I said, that the carbohydrates and extra calories are fueling activity. So if you've got a lot of activity, go ahead and take on a few more calories. Now, just so you have something to compare this to, if I was going to suggest that you wanted to maintain your current body weight, I would give you 13 to 1,400, I would give you 13 to 14 calories per pound of body weight per day. Okay, so we're just reducing a little. The most you ever really want to reduce is about 25%. Really kind of safe bet is 20% of your daily calories. So again, if I'm that person that can sustain and maintain my body weight on 2,000 calories and I want to lose fat, I would reduce that 2,000 calories by about 20%. That's about 400 calories a day. That still leaves me with 1,600 calories, well above that magical 1,200 calorie mark, if that makes any sense. I hope it does. So the figure I'm giving you, the 10 to 12 calories per pound of current body weight, that is already reduced from what it costs just to be you for a day. So we want to take what it costs to be calorie-wise for you to be you for a day and then subtract some. So that 10 to 12 calories has already taken into account that reduction of calories so that you can lose body fat, okay? So those are the figures that I want you to use. Now you're probably asking, how in the world am I gonna figure out how many calories I'm taking? The only way to determine how many calories you're taking in is to track your calories. There's a ton of apps out there. There's two I love the most. One is called Fat Secret. That is my favorite. So you can find an app on both Android and iPhone, and you can get it on your desktop. It's called fatsecret.com. So I'll put a link in the comments about that. There's another one called MyFitnessPal. A lot of people use it. I like it. I don't love it only because I've heard a lot of sometimes these apps will prescribe a certain amount of calories for you, and I have heard so many people say that MyFitnessPal prescribes them with like 1,200 calories. It's way too low. In fact, the client I was talking about today, she weighs 198, so she should be eating like 1,975 calories a day to lose fat, okay? MyFitnessPal set her up on 1,200 calories a day. That is way too much of a deficit. So her actual calories she should be taking in a day, let me do some math here, to be her, hold on, it's 12, 13, 14, carry the 1, 4, 5. She should be 198, 8, 12, 40, 50. Okay. So she should be taking in, just to maintain her current body weight, she should be taking in about 2,400 calories a day just to stay at 198, all right? And I reduced her to 1,975 a day. So we took about 20%-ish, but my MyFitnessPal took her down, way down to 1,200 calories. No wonder she's having a hard time losing weight because she's not eating enough, and she works her butt off here in the gym. So keep that in mind that while MyFitnessPal is a good app, it'll track your calories and everything. Don't pay attention to what they give you for calories. Calculate them yourself, okay? So you're gonna get that app and then you're just gonna log in the food that you eat. It's got a database of tons of food, store-bought food and fresh food, and you're just gonna put it in there, put the quantity in, and it will tell you how many carbs, proteins, fats, and calories you're eating in each meal. Right now, I would just be a little bit more concerned about your calories. We'll talk about the other things as we go along. But for now, I want you to just get in the habit of tracking your food. I just read somewhere, I can't remember, I just read a statistic that was talking about people that track their food, or it was well over 50% more likely to reach their goals. And it just makes sense, because if you're gonna write that down at the end of the day, you're gonna look at that and go like, whoa, I had no idea I had that many handfuls of chocolate chips. Or, wow, I actually have to log that I ate 4 cookies today. And like, I'm eating like a 4-year-old. So you become much more accountable to what you're eating and what you're putting in if you know that you're gonna have to log it. I still log my food a few days a week just to keep myself kind of on track. But now I'm at a point, and this is where I hope to get you, at a point where I just know what meals work for me, which meals keep me satiated, which meals keep me burning fat, which meals, what things to add in if I'm hungry. So that's where I want you to get. It's just becomes second nature and you don't have to think really hard about it. But for now, you're going to want to, if you really want to get this dialed in and be a detective, you're going to have to probably spend some time logging your food. Okay? All right. That's all I have for you today.